I'm just thinking about starting the sketch now. And I've chosen this view over here because I just love that beautiful farmyard. And I love the contrasting trees and everything. So I'm just beginning the sketch now. This is just a thumbnail, so it's not really what the artwork's going to be all about. And I've begun just by lightly sketching my format. The format is basically the shape of the canvas or page that you're working on. And I like to do that first because the format to me is really important. The rectangular format is used a lot for landscape, but it's not limited to landscape. And when it's held that way, we call it the landscape format. But that doesn't mean to say that it's actually limited to drawing just landscapes. If we hold it that way, it's a portrait. It's called a portrait format. So I've chosen this landscape format, just a short one, because the reason why I've chosen quite a short rectangle, not a very long one, is because that farmyard looks very powerful, and I feel that this format just gives the picture a bit of power. So I'm just going to sketch that quietly now. And I also make sure that I never divide the picture right in half, and that's a rule of composition, that we don't divide the picture in half. So I'm going to develop the horizon line at least above the halfway. So I'll just quietly sketch away here now. I'm just going to capture a few of the little details that really stand out to me, but not actually draw the entire scene. I'll rely on the photographs later to have a good look at the scene, but just capturing the main elements that are important to me in this thumbnail. I'm just finishing up the little thumbnail sketch now. I've chosen a horizontal structure, composition structure for this little picture. I'm quite happy with it really, because it does fulfill the purpose that I set out to, which was to create an idea or a concept for a future drawing that I could possibly do. The main thing that I wanted to do was position the farmhouse in one of the focal point areas. Now you can find a focal point area in your composition by dividing the format into 3 equal parts, horizontally and vertically, and then you choose one of the places where those lines cross over, and that's called the rule of thirds. So I've positioned the farmhouse into one of those rule of thirds. I've captured the main sort of hill line further back, and then there's another hill line down from there, and these bushes too, these big trees, I just think they're gorgeous. These trees are like big pine trees or something. And then the little farmhouse. This big doorway was really important to me, and so I've emphasised that with some tone, and then there's some trees there as well. These little bush lines were also an important part of the composition, and I feel that they provide a beautiful lead in, because when we're composing an artwork we need to lead the viewer into the composition and around, let them arrive at the focal point and then continue on. And when I'm looking at this composition, I'm thinking about the extra elements that could possibly be in it, and that's what's really exciting about it. I've just spotted those lovely golden coloured cows again, and I'm thinking, oh, wouldn't they be great in there? So I've just popped them in here. And it's so important when you're composing a thumbnail that you don't get too carried away with drawing the details, because you can draw that back in the studio. Instead, you can just sketch little tiny shapes and then write what it's going to be over here. I think that'd be great. I'm happy with that.